Hello everybody, welcome to our first online class about past continuous versus past simple, okay? As we talked about it during class time, this semester we're going to be using a new teaching approach. It's actually a new strategy that we want to implement in this particular class, and it's going to be changing a little bit the roles for students and for teachers. We call it flipped classroom or aula invertida, and that's why you guys will have the chance to watch a video like this once a week in order to get the grammar aspects of the class, and then come to the lesson to do the practice and projects and participate doing so many other things, okay? So welcome everybody once again. On this lesson, as I said, you will have the opportunity to watch this video before August 28th. So by August 28th, that's a Monday, you should be able to have watched this video and complete the exercises at the end. Make sure to watch the video as many times as you need to and complete the exercises that you will find at the end. Bring your answers in a piece of paper for the teacher. So we're going to try to keep the same routine every week. Now, let's talk about past continuous. As you know, our unit number 5 is about the combination of two tenses in past. Past continuous, that emphasizes an action in progress during a specific period of time in past, versus past simple, that talks about a one-time action that happens once again in a very specific moment. Okay, as you can see, in the first part we got the form. Okay, and here I wanted to see that typically you're going to be using was or were and the present participle. Every time you hear me talk about present participle, I'm talking about the ing verb. So these are the two mandatory parts of this grammatical tense. We have a few examples here. As you can see, we have example number 1. You were studying when she called. 2. Were you studying when she called? 3. You were not studying when she called. In a simple example like this, you can notice how the positive, question, and negative forms are created. Okay? Remember that in all three forms, you need both was or were plus a verb in ing. Okay? Now, we're going to see 5 different uses for past continuous. And we're going to start with use number 1. Interrupted action in the past. Okay? The timeline that you see is a really good example where you can pretty much have 2 different actions. One action that goes through the timeline in past continuous, and one action that interrupts it right in the middle in past simple. Okay? As you can see in the examples that come after, I'm just going to read the first 3. But you are more than welcome to read and study the other ones. And if you have any questions or anything about this lesson, just make sure to write them down and ask me first time the next class. Okay? The example number 1. I was watching TV when she called. In an example like this, there is an action in progress. The action is, I was watching TV. And then there is an interruption. The interruption happens when she called. So this is what I'm trying to say. The action in progress is past continuous. The interruption is past simple. Say for example number 2. When the phone rang, she was writing a letter. In this case, they gave us the past simple at the beginning and the past continuous second. It doesn't really matter as far as you have it clear in your mind that the action that happens in progress is always ing, and the action that makes as an interruption is past simple. Then we have example number 3. While we were having a picnic, it started to rain. Same thing. Action in progress and interrupted action in past simple. Now, let's talk about use number 2. Use number 2 is for a specific time as an interruption. In the next page, you're going to see some examples like this. Last night at 6 p.m., I was eating dinner. At midnight, we were still driving through the desert. Yesterday, at this time, I was sitting at my desk at work. So if you notice in this one, there is a specific time combined with past continuous, but this is just to understand, or this is just to let you know that the action is in progress or was in progress by that time, okay? The action didn't start at 6. On the opposite, you were eating dinner before that, okay? Use number 3 here. It's about parallel actions. This is one of my favorites. This is when you have 2 different actions that are simultaneous. When we talk about things that are simultaneous, it's because they are happening at the same time. So the actions are parallel, okay? Like for example, I was studying while he was making dinner. We're doing 2 things at the same time. Studying, making dinner. Both are in past continuous. Here we don't have any interruptions. So here we don't use past simple. While Helen was reading, Tim was watching television. Same thing. Were you listening while he was talking? Same thing. Okay? Now we come to use number 4. Use number 4 has to do with atmosphere. I want you to think about this use for descriptive purposes. If you want to describe a paragraph, a moment, or something, you can do it using all past continuous. Like this example here. When I walked into the office, several people were busily typing. Some were talking on their phones. The boss was yelling directions. And customers were waiting to be helped. If you notice, everything is in past continuous. And that's just perfect. We have just one more, let's say, observation I need to make here. And it's about use 5. Repetition and irritation with always. When you want to talk about something that you don't like, or you want to complain about somebody, you can say an example. You can use examples like this. She was always coming to class late. He was constantly talking. He annoyed everyone. If you notice, this is pretty much referring, or it's a special comment about something or someone, and you will use it in past continuous just to express that you are irritated and that you didn't like that past habit of someone or something. Okay? Finally, this is the last part about the use of while versus when. Okay? Something that you need to know is that typically while is going to be followed by past continuous. Okay? And when typically is going to be followed by past simple. Okay? Just for you to check the sentence at the bottom. I was studying when she called. So immediately after you have when, make sure you use past simple. Okay? And in this one, just to make the contrast, while I was studying, she called. So in this one, we're using past continuous. Okay? There is some additional information that I would like to read on this part. But I'm going to jump to the practice session. That is the one that you have to give me on a piece of paper next class. That's Monday. Time for practice. On these exercises, as you can see on this screen at the moment, there are 12 different sentences. I want you to think carefully about the actions in every one, and I want you to use the verb in parentheses in each sentence in the correct form. You can use past continuous or past simple. Okay? Make sure you bring these answers for next class, because I'm going to collect them and I will give you corrections immediately. Okay? This is all for now. See you next class. Okay? Remember, you can watch this video as many times as you want. Bye.